Okay. All right. What I want to ask you all is be sure you put it in speaker mode, because what I'm going to do, and I'm going to try this, if it turns out it doesn't work, uh, we'll go back to the old fashioned where I just present my slides. But what I'm doing is I'm showing my slides behind me as I'm talking. That way you kind of get to see me in all my glory a little larger as I'm talking about the slides. Of course, you're on the other side of the continent, and I'm not sure if uh, my voice will line up or things like that. So if that's the case, we'll go back to the old way, or get rid of the video altogether and just show you the slides with a audio. So I'd love your input or output in terms of how well this is doing. So can everyone see me? And by the way, there is a way for you to raise your hand under the reaction thing. So if you can see me and you can see the slides and they're sharp, that's one of the things I'm worried about, is it may be kind of blurry or not a good thing. So I'm going to wait, let you guys let me know. Can you see my slide? And can you see me? So, and you can, okay, Ty gave me a thumbs up. Anybody else? If you guys know how to use the things, okay, good. Okay, only 2, 3, 4 of you. Okay, one of the reasons I want you to start using the reaction button is every now and then I will ask you to do something for me. Now, of course, I'm this way. I spotlighted myself. I am going to turn that off in a little while because I want to introduce Ty. He's the one who kind of helped us pull all this together just to explain what we're trying to accomplish. So first of all, I'm going to get into the agenda, but let me get Ty up here. Let me undo myself. Let's see if I know how to do that. Let's see. Oh, over here. Okay, remove spotlight. Now I'm going to spotlight Ty. There you are. Hey, Ty. Good to see you. Your mic's not on yet. So it is on, but we can't hear you. Try.
Yeah, Paul, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, great. So for the group that's here, thank you very much for attending. We're very thankful for Paul Martin for doing this, and really this is to the benefit to both the University of Nairobi and the University of Lagos. And so what we look forward for your attendance in all of this is that we really are excited about you participating in this particular program. And what we really want to see is we look forward to scheduling the actual knowledge exam upon the conclusion of this particular trainings, the entire course, which is going to span a number of weeks. So we look forward to scheduling that because we are very excited about seeing all of you attaining your certifications through INCOSE. And this is just one step in that particular journey. And so it's very critical for us to be able to move forward. And I know for certain that you will benefit from this as well. So again, we do appreciate you participating in this particular training session. And you were nominated from your prospective deans at your university. So Professor Gatau and Dr. Apinimo, they're the ones who recommended you to participate in this particular session. And again, we were trying to align with other individuals that were out there. Paul Martin graciously helped us with this. And Paul, I was going to send you an email as well. We're in the process of updating some information, and we will be recognizing your contribution to this as well. Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Ty, one more question before you go. Because I may lose you halfway through my this little intro. You are hoping to do a paper exam with the students, correct?
So what Courtney has told me, Courtney Wright has told me that this is you schedule the time and you can take this electronically.
Okay, I will explain that, but I wanted to make sure if you had other plans, I didn't want to bog everybody down with that information. So I'll show them in terms of how to take the exam and scheduling it and things like that. So that's perfect if we know that's the case. Thank you so much, Ty. Let's go ahead and spotlight me now.
Okay, thank you.
We'll see you later. All right. Hopefully everybody can see me. I am going to eventually help you guys introduce yourselves. So I'll come out of the spotlight, let you guys come in and introduce yourselves. One of the reasons I do that is just kind of get a sense of who's taking the course and what's involved in all that. With no further ado, let's let me get this a little bit. I think that's the best I can do. So let me go through the agenda, and I am going to have everybody introduce themselves. By the way, if you have any questions, again, this is for you. If I go too fast, or you want me to reiterate something, or maybe clarify something, please, you are more than welcome to unmute yourself and interrupt me. One of my problems, once I get into the rhythm of teaching this, sometimes I can't see if you raised your hand or something like that using the reaction buttons. Hopefully everybody can see me and that I'm pretty clear. I am recording this so that if you want to watch it later. I've noticed we're not quite full with all the students that we normally, I put in 20 students. So I am going to go through things so that the students who aren't here can watch this a little later. It is important. We are going to start because it's a cohort. We'll get into that battle rhythm in terms of what it means to watch the lectures and to do the quizzes, and then getting together with me if you have any questions. So we'll talk about that. First of all, I want to get into what is INCOSE. Now, some of you may be very familiar with INCOSE, but I find, especially with 20-some students, there's bound to be a student that says INCOSE, what? So I'm going to just go through this. Hopefully it doesn't bore you, but especially for those who may view this later and may not be aware of INCOSE. So let me start with that real quick. Well, actually, before I do that, let me introduce myself. So I'm Paul Martin. I've got a BS and an MS in engineering. My master's of science is in system engineering. And I've worked as an engineer for decades. I actually am kind of always interesting to say, I remember going to work and there was no computer on my desk. So that's how far back I go. But I was right at the beginning of the computer revolution. So as you can tell, I'm able to keep up with the new technology. But I am also an adjunct professor at UMBC. I do teach a course there, a graduate level system engineering course. And that course actually has been approved by INCOSE for the equivalence of the exam. So my students, when they get out, they can actually apply for their ACEP or CCEP through the application, and they're able to get that, and they don't have to take the exam. So that just shows you my class is kind of gets you ready for taking the exam, which I'm also certified. I have an ECEP. We'll talk about what that means. And from CompTIA, I have a CTT Plus, which is a certified technical trainer. But enough about me. Let's go around. And I've been teaching this course for a long time, since 2009. And actually, I'm upgrading it now. We can talk about the version 5 of the handbook if you want. But before we do all that, and we will have time for your questions, and we'll be getting into, of course, this thing. We're going to go around the course, and what I'm going to do is look at my little thing here and see who's on top, and just call you out. I'm going to butcher your name. I just want you to know that. I'm going to try my best. Try your first name if I can, or your last name if I can. We'll see if what will work. So let's start, and hopefully your videos work. If they don't, just turn on your mic and let us know that indeed is the case. So let me remove the spotlight. Hopefully, you guys will have, when you hit view, hit speaker view, and then those people will come up when you do that. All right. Let's go with Comfort. Are you there? Comfort?
Yes, please.
Hey, there you are.
Good evening.
No video?
Yes, there's video. Can you
Uh,
see me?
there you are.
Yes, good evening. Good
Just,
evening, everybody.
hey,
I'm Comfort Folorunsho from Systems Engineering, University of Lagos, Nigeria.
and when's the first time you heard about INCOSE?
From my head of department
Okay,
this year.
okay. And what are you hoping to get out of the course? That's the other thing I'm hoping.
I want to get as much value as I can get that will help me to pass the exam.
Good. Well,
and
we're
be
going to help you on
certified.
that.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
Thank you.
All right, Dorothy, you're next in my line if you want to come online.
Good morning. My name is Dorothy Benvenisti, and I am a member of the board of directors of the INCOSE Foundation and a member of the INCOSE organization. And I'm excited to sit in on your session, Paul, and meet all of the fine ladies and gentlemen that will be taking this course as I audit it. Thank you.
Okay, well, good. We're glad to have you here. And I'm getting a lot more people here too. Let's get, I see, Dorothy Franklin. Franklin, are you there? Franklin, there you are. Good to see you. Oh, you're unmuted, unfortunately. Yeah.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Oh,
My name
right.
is
It's
Franklin.
evening for you. It's afternoon for me.
Sure. My name is Franklin Mwiti from University of Nairobi here in Kenya.
Oh,
I am a PhD student in agricultural and biosystems engineering. I learned about INCOSE from my dean, Professor Getau.
okay.
And I hope to get the best out of this training through the get to know more about INCOSE, and of course get through the training, pass the exams, and of course get to know more about it through practice.
Now that
and
actually,
all
Frank,
other activities.
good. You bring up a good point, and I am going to get you the ability to pass the exam. That's very important. But the other aspect to this is the aspect of learning system engineering and the processes. So this kind of, and that's why I use the same material for my UMBC course, University of Maryland, Baltimore County. It is principles and the foundations of system engineering. So it's good to have you here, Franklin.
Thank you very much.
All right. I have Dr. John Snodley. Is he here? Snodderly? There you are. If you can unmute, if you can.
I did. Hello, hello.
There you are. Hey, how you doing? Just
Great.
who you are, where you work from, and if you know INCOSE.
Oh yeah, I was president of INCOSE in 2002.
There you go. So you do know.
2003. Yeah.
I'm going to probably bore you a little bit through this.
It's okay.
But one thing you can do for me is make sure I don't make any mistakes when I talk about INCOSE. So just let the class know who you are and where you work and stuff. Oh, Dr. John, are you there? I think.
Yeah, well, I work at the Defense Acquisition University.
Okay.
I've been there for a long time, and teach system engineering and other courses in the past.
Great.
I'm a learning director now and building credentials for system engineering and for the acquisition workforce, the system engineering group.
Great. Well, it's great to have you. It really is. So that's great. All right, let's go to John Wade. I think he's in here somewhere. Ah, there
Hello,
you are.
Paul. Hi, everybody. Now my name is John Wade. I'm a professor at University of California, San Diego. Been a member of INCOSE for about 14 years now, a fellow of INCOSE. And I'm really happy to see everyone here. I started the contact between INCOSE Foundation and University of Lagos and University of Nairobi. Super excited about having all of you folks getting involved and really bringing creating a global community in systems engineering. We all have systems engineering challenges that are very different. Some are similar, but I think we're all going to do better when we all work together. So I'm going to probably have to drop off after a little bit, but
Oh, no problem.
thanks, Paul, for what you're doing. I really appreciate it as well.
Oh, no problem, John. I'm glad to help. And I really appreciate you guys coming in, making sure I do this right. So I appreciate it. So, let's get Larry Strasser.
Strasser, yes. Hi, Paul.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm at Johns Hopkins. I've been there
Okay.
in the system engineering program for a while, since 2005, actually. Been a member of INCOSE for just a year or two before that. So,
Yeah, okay.
so and I'm very interested in this global project, and I've worked with Ty and John on this, and the two Johns, John without an H and John with an H. And,
There we go.
and I think this is very, very important, and so that's why I'm attending, at least at the start of this. I think this is such a great thing that you're
Okay.
doing, Paul. And I'll probably have to drop off here pretty quickly too. But anyway, I just say hi and wish everybody great luck.
Great. All right, let's go with another John Agnobian, if I said that right. Benny, are you there? There you are. You can, and I don't know if you have the ability to show yourself, but that'd be great. There you are. Good to see you.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. And I'm very excited to be here. And I'm also looking forward to the whole concept around systems engineering, especially with the certification. And I look forward to also going further
All right.
with all the levels of certifications.
Oh,
Thank you
okay.
very much.
Well, at the end of the class, I'll actually go through what the actual application process, if you guys
Yeah.
are interested. So
Yeah, sure.
we'll cover that as well. Okay,
Yeah.
John. Good.
Thank you so much.
Welcome. Welcome.
Yeah.
All right, let's get Robert Mathenji. Are you in there as well? Did I already do Robert? I forgot if I did or not. There you are.
Yes. Good afternoon. Good evening, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, my name is Robert Madenge from Nairobi, Kenya. I'm interested and happy to join the global systems engineering community, ready to learn, pass exams, and also have my university accredited with systems engineering. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, Robert. Appreciate it and stuff. I think you'll do well in the class. That would be great. Let's get Mr. or Mrs. George, because I can't say Alawafami. I don't know if that's a proper way to say it or not. There you are. If you want to show yourself, there you are. Good to see you, Mr. George.
So good day, everyone. I'm George Oluwafemi.
Okay.
George Oluwafemi.
All right.
From the University of Lagos, Department of Systems Engineering. So I learned about INCOSE early this year, and we are set for the training program, and I look forward to passing this exam once and getting all the things that I can get from this training. Thank you.
Oh, thanks. Welcome. Good to have you. All right, let's try Martin Nanji. Is it Nanje? Oh, hope I say that right. Help me pronounce these things.
Good evening, Prof. Yeah, I'm Martin from the University of Nairobi.
Okay.
By System Engineering. Happy to be here. This opportunity, I appreciate it.
All right.
I'm here to pass this exam and also to learn more about certification.
Well, we're going to get you through the exam, that's for sure. So it's going to be good. Good to have you here, Martin. Good to have you here. All right, let's go with Kienda. Is that Kienda? Is that how I say your name? Orlu. Sorry about butchering your name.
All right.
I like the way your head's just coming out of the plane. It's nice.
I try to remove the background now, so you can see. All right. Sorry.
No,
Yeah, good
that's
evening,
fine.
everybody. I think you can see me clearly now.
Yes.
My name is Kende Orolu. I work at the Department of Systems Engineering, University of Lagos. I had my degrees in systems engineering. I heard about INCOSE for the first time as an undergraduate student about 2002, 2003. And interestingly, we had a student magazine that we published as Students Association of System Engineering Students. We actually featured some things about INCOSE around that time. And that was when I knew about INCOSE. And over the years, I have been interested in taking some of the certification. So this opportunity is like a dream come true.
Oh.
And really looking forward to getting certified and getting more knowledge about the practice of systems engineering. Thank you very much.
Good to have you here. I'm glad. And hopefully this will help in terms of you getting even better understanding of the system engineering and stuff. Now, I don't know if I did Franklin M. Did I do you? Now, if I already did, you just let me know. So Frankly, am I saying it right? Frankly M. Meraki. All right.
Yes, I already
you're there.
introduced
I
myself.
already did you.
Yes.
All right. So I'm just looking through the board here and trying to figure. Oh, P. Kiyami. Kimami. There you are. Yeah. If you can show yourself.
Hello, hello everyone. My name is Peter Kimani. Sorry, I'm on traffic heading
Oh
home.
yeah. Keep your eye on the road for sure.
I'm glad to be here. I'm here to learn. We'll also interact, I'm sure, and maybe talk about the exam later. Maybe for us, we can also plan where possible to do the exam as soon as we can. So thank you so much, Paul and team, for having us. Good afternoon and good evening to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, I appreciate it. And he is right. We're going to talk about what it takes to take the exam in terms of getting online, registering it, and scheduling it, and what that takes. Okay, I think I did Karaki. Did I did Karuki? Is that how I say your name? I don't know if I got you yet. There you are. Yeah, no, I didn't. There you go.
Yes, good afternoon and good evening. My name is Motugi Kiruki from the University of Nairobi, Department of Electrical and Information Engineering. As the rest of my colleagues have said, I'm excited to be part of this, looking forward to these sessions and to learning more on systems engineering, and particularly how, from an electronics engineering perspective, how I can apply systems engineering, kind of, systems engineering in my field. So I'm looking forward to that. And of course, to being prepared adequately to pass that exam. Thank you.
Oh, no, you actually bring up a really good point. And I've had other students, again, I've been teaching this for about a decade or more. I have had students come in not as system engineers, but really wanting to understand system engineering so they could interact with them. But Kuroki, you'll also notice that as an electrical engineer, you will be applying some of these principles into your domain as well as you're working in. So I believe last name O, First name, Pinoni, I hope I said that right. And I think you might be the last one if you can unmute, show yourself. That'd be great. There you go.
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. Ikwinimo Oluwafemi, and I'm happy to be here. From University of Lagos, Systems Engineering, and I'm the HOD of Systems Engineering, and I'm happy to join this class. Thank you.
Oh, that's perfect. Okay, did great. Okay, everybody, what I'm going to do is spotlight myself again. And if you could go to speaker mode, you can see my slides. And please let me know if it starts bugging you, we can switch to the normal way of things. But this way we don't have to share my screen. I can just show you what my screen shows. All right, so here's our agenda. What we're going to do is talk about what INCOSE is, for those who just heard the name just a few weeks ago. Also, we're going to go through the certification overview and then go into the process, which is 3 steps: learn the handbook, take the exam, fill out the application. For learning the handbook, we're going to spend a little bit of time there to talk about what it means for the INCOSE CEP knowledge exam. We'll be getting into that. And then after that, we'll talk about what it means to take the exam, fill out the application, getting certified. I'll stay here as long as I need to if you guys have questions and things like that. I don't want to burden you with too much if you already know a lot of this, but it'll be more for those who haven't been here before. Okay, so what is INCOSE? It's an international council of system engineering. It's not for profit. It was founded back in the early 90s, and its main purpose is to disseminate the principles and practices of what system engineering, which is what allows you to successfully deploy a system. And we're also trying to connect all the professionals from an educational, industrial aspects, connecting them in terms of making sure system engineering and the systems approach is put forward. So as the vision says, we can build a better world through that systems approach. So we're trying to address all these societal technical challenges when it comes to enabling, promoting, and advancing system engineering within the world. So, and we have almost 200,000 members, and we have 4,000 of them are certified. And I'll tell you what that looks like in a little while. So we are trying to, INCOSE is trying to produce these state-of-the-art work products. One of them is this symposium. It's in Hawaii. As a matter of fact, some of the people that came on board are probably at Hawaii and trying to get ready to go to Hawaii. We also have a journal, Insight magazine, which is more like for the people who are members of INCOSE and know sort of like a practitioner type thing. The System Engineering Book of Knowledge, which is very helpful. And we also have this thing, Object Management Group, not oh my God, Object Management Group, Systems Modeling Language, that we work with the OMG group out there. But we also have the handbook, and that's the main aspect I want to talk about here, because the handbook is used in the certification program. And the certification program is this multi-leveled professional system engineering professional, or CEP, certification program, which recognizes the knowledge and experience of the system engineers who apply. And what it is once you get that certification, you can utilize that when you go for a new job, or just to brag about where you're at, things like that. And there are 3 levels. We'll get into what those levels are. But keep in mind, this independent assessment, and that's what it is, because INCOSE is trying to independently assess individuals when it comes to their capabilities of doing system engineers. And of course, system engineering. And of course, the system engineering community wants to be able to have a standard way to identify and develop those professionals that that say they're system engineers. And also the community wants this formal recognized body of knowledge. That's very important too. But you as an individual, as a professional, you now have a portable standard of recognition that you can take with you no matter where you go. And of course, we once you get this certification, we do kind of ask that you continue your professional development so you can go from an ACEP to a CCEP, from a CCEP to an ECEP. And we'll show you what that is. Now, companies themselves and other organizations find it's very beneficial to have certified individuals that will work with their certified processes that they have within their organizations. So those two marrying together are important in terms of what we're doing. Okay, that's what INCOSE is, what they have. Let's get into the overview itself in terms of what the certification is. Now, keep in mind, this isn't a certificate. You know, what's funny is at the end of you taking my class, if you take all my quizzes and the exams and watch all my lectures, if you want, I will give you a certificate that you passed or finished my exam. That's all it is. It just shows that you completed something. So this is different, okay? This is a certification, okay? And it's not a license. In the United States, what we have is if you have a business or profession that you need a license to perform, then usually you need to get a license for that. And this doesn't provide you the ability or permission to perform your duty. It just really what it does is confirm your capacity, your capability in terms of your education, experience, and knowledge, your competency. That's what I want to say. And it's a very formal process issued by the organization. Of course, it's voluntary, but it could be a good way for you to show that you are certified and that you understand system engineering to individuals or to companies you may be applying for. You may find that that's a helpful way to do it. Now, thinking of professional societies and certifications, think about the PMI. Now, let me through a show of hands, how many of you have heard of the Program Management Institute? If you have, just use the little reaction button there. And of course, if nobody does, I may have to explain that. Okay, just one. All right, a few. Okay, so if you do understand PMI, it's just like INCOSE, but it's for program management. Okay, so the Program Management Institute, they actually have certifications. You can take the exam, fill out the application, and you can become a program management professional doing that. There's another one for security, for the International Information System Security Certification. And IEEE, they have a computer society where you could be a certified software developer. But what I want to explain to you is kind of where we're at. We got different levels of certification that we're going to talk about, just like we see here with the PMI, right? They have a program management, but project management, but they also have program management, which is a little different than a certified associate and things like that. What we have is the lowest level, which is the associate, just shows that you understand system engineering. Give you a little bit of experience, about 5 years or more, and show that you're actually working in the system engineering field. You can get what's called a CCEP, which is Certified System Engineering Professional. And why is it going backwards? Sorry. And then the expert, which is maybe after 25 years and showing some leadership as well. So it's for every stage of your career. By the way, you don't have to start with an ACEP and then go to C7 E7. You can start wherever it's necessary, as you're doing, as I show here. So you're as a candidate, you could start it as ASAP and then move up, or if you've already got 10 years or so experience, you can go ahead and go straight for the CSAP. The ESAP, you can go straight for that too if you've had 25 or more years. You can enter whenever you feel you're at as you're doing this. One thing I want to show you is how many we have so far. As of February of this year, we have a little under 4,200. That's ASAP, CSAP, and ESAP combined. All right. And we have about altogether about 4,200, as you can see here. So it's a massive growth. It started in 2004. Just so you'll know, this is my bragging point right here, is I got certified back in 2007. Okay. So that was, I was under, only 200 people were certified at that time. I was number 177. So been certified for a long time. It took me a while till 2012 for me to go for my ESAP. By then I had enough experience and some leadership capabilities that I was able to get my ESAP. So I've been at ESAP since 2012, so almost a little over 10 years so far. One thing, just to show you how rare this certification is, there's only a few of you who know what PMP is and what a PMP is. So I usually ask the audience if they know, how many PMPs do you think are in the world? And usually I would have people come back and forth on that. You'd be surprised, and it actually may be more. I actually looked at this maybe last year, but it was almost 900,000. They may be up to 1 million by now of program managers. So you throw a rock, you can hit a program manager, right? But what's interesting is we only have a little over 4,000 or so. So we're small compared to this large program management thing in there. So it is a rare breed for you to kind of get this certification. And actually, I think you'll be one of the few that show that how serious you are with your profession. You know. All right. Remember, just to remind you, if you have any questions, some of you came in late, please interrupt me if you want to. Just unmute and say, "Hey, Professor, stop," you know, and I'll stop and listen to your question and answer it, of course. All right. The ASAP, and maybe a majority of you would go for this because it's a very simple application. We'll get into that, but this is very junior. You do need to be a INCOSE member, and you just take the knowledge exam. So once you do that, you're good to go. You're an ASAP. You know, and here's what you do. What we do up here is learn the handbook. Here, of course, you develop the application, which is, hey, what's your name? And do you have some money? So once you do that, that goes in, you pass the exam, you're good to go for 5 years. Right. Now, the CSAP is a little more involved. We'll get into this when we get into the application, but this one is where you have to show that you have a good 5-year work, 5 years of work, 5 years or more. And then you have to show and get references down here of people who actually seen your working in those aspects. And of course, you have to pass the exam as well and be an INCOSE member. This you need to renew in 3 years. All right. And this is the process here. You study and learn it and pass the exam, but then you have to fill out the application, get your references involved, and put those in. And then once those are all together, they can look at it. You pass the exam, looked at your application, and then they'll bring those together and certify you as a CSAP for 3 years. Now, there is a way, and a lot of my students do this because they get through my course and learn the handbook to the point where I better take the exam as quickly as possible. And then they go ahead and get the ASAP. And then that way they can take their time, because the CSEP application actually is kind of, I don't want to say it's hard, but there is aspects of putting it together correctly that takes time. So, you may find out you're spending several weekends or going through your resume and trying to work. So we'll talk about what that takes. But if you get your ASEP, you're good for 5 years. And during that 5 years, you can accumulate more experience, and of course, fill out the application correctly. And now you don't have to take the exam again. Once you take the exam, you're done and you're already good to go. So you just submit the application. Of course, there's money involved in that too, but your application would be submitted, your references, of course, and then you can get certified at that point. So that's one way to do it, go from ASEP to CSEP. Expert, if you guys are interested, this is for 20 years or more. I would like, if you are interested in this, just contact me. I've been through it, of course. This process is a little different. They are going to call you and interview you, and they'll also call and interview 2 of your 3 references. So it's important for you to get all that together. And of course, the application is a little more extensive. Also wanted to let you guys know about the organizations that have streamlined certified processes here. There are a few. If you ever join them and you want to get your CSEP, they are very helpful in that respect. The other thing is the universities. Those have academic equivalencies. One is University of Maryland, where I do this principles course, and that's recognized as the same as taking the exam. All right, that's the certification overview. I keep forgetting to throw in are there any questions slide. So I'll just, if you do have any questions, please either raise your hand or unmute and interrupt me. All right, let's get into the process itself. Okay, there are 3 steps to the SEP process certification. 1, you got to learn the handbook. That's what you're taking the class for. Once you're done with the class, you take the exam. Once the exam's done, you prepare your application. Now, if it's for the ASEP, it's real easy, but if it's CSEP, it's a little more involved. So I'm going to go through these 3 steps. Now, I'm going to concentrate on step 1, taking the course, because that's kind of why you're here, is to get through step 1, okay? And of course, to pass step 2. All right, so let's talk about what learning the handbook means, okay? I mean, learning the handbook as part of this process. So keep in mind, the handbook is what the exam or the knowledge exam that you'll be taking is based on. There's no questions on that exam that is not in this handbook. So it's important that you get the handbook, number 1, and that you read it, number 2. And then what I'm going to do through my class is I'm going to give you some lectures, a flow diagram, and some exam questions. So we'll go through that and show you what's involved there. So let's first talk about, well, first of all, understand it's the exam basis, just like I said, and this is straight off the website. We recommend study the current version of the handbook as a reference document for the exam. So get the handbook, okay? Now, show of hands, how many, oh, Comfort, you have a question. Let me let you go ahead and ask your question.
Yes, thank you very much. I want to ask, this particular lecture or class, which of the certification are we being prepared for? Is it ASEP or CSEP?
Okay, the exam is for both. So it doesn't matter if you're going for the ASEP or CSEP, you need to take the exam. And the exam, it doesn't know which way you're going with that, but you have to pass the exam. Does that make sense?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and by the way, you can apply for either one. Once you pass the exam, you can apply for ACEP or apply for CSEP. It's up to you. So at the end of the class here, I'll kind of show you how to apply for both. So depending on what you feel you have experience-wise, you can make your decision. Okay. By show of hands, how many of you have gotten the PDF version for free from INCOSE? Okay. How many? Okay. Or you can show. I was thinking you use a reaction, but that's great, Franklin. You just showed me. That's good. Okay, good. Okay, so for those I've noticed some of you may not have, I just want to remind you that I think I go down. That if you do have the PDF, you could go. Now we have a Home Depot and Staples here, Office Depot, I mean, and Staples here in the United States. But if you have any copy place, they can actually go and take that PDF, print it out, double-sided, please, double-sided thing. It's 300 pages, but if you spiral bound it, now in the United States, that's like $45. So it may be a good way for you to get a paper copy if you like to read. Okay. The other thing you can do, of course, is actually buy from Wiley store the actual hard copy. So that's one thing you may be wanting to do. And by the way, if you're like, oh, I don't have the PDF yet, I do, and I'm going to show you how to get to Canvas. You have to get to Canvas. I have a dedicated page on that, on how to download the PDF for free. It's a very simple click, and we can do that. Okay. There. Okay, that's something else. All right. I'm just checking out the chat. Okay, so that'll tell you how to get to your My Digital Library and things like that. So pretty straightforward. All right, let's get into what it means to take my class. Okay. Number one, I have a complete set of lectures, and I'll be covering the entire handbook. If you remember the web page I gave you, and we'll see this in Canvas as well, it's a little under 24 hours of lectures. So this is going to take a while for you to go through. It'll be similar to what you see here, me talking head, and my slides in the background. But I'll be going through at least 1,000 slides to get through a 305-page document. All right. The other thing, all the lectures, of course, are recorded. This shows you what they look like, and of course, you watch them at your convenience, which makes more sense than forcing you to come to a class at a specific time. You watch it when you're able to. All right. I have this comprehensive diagram. Could you raise your hand if you were able to get a copy from your professor? All right, let me grab, I have a copy here so you can see it. Looks like this.
And Paul, I think Comfort has a question for you as well.
Please, Comfort, go ahead. I'm sorry. And remember, you can unmute and say, hey, excuse me.
Okay, thank you very much. I want to ask, are the lectures downloadable? Can we download the lecture so that we can watch it at our convenience? Or must you watch it online all the time?
I think it's online all the time. I've actually never looked at that. I have to actually, that's a good question. Geez, you think I would know? I uploaded them in something other than YouTube because I didn't want anybody to access it. So I believe you can watch it only on my website. So hopefully that won't be a problem. Do let me know. I mean, if you feel you need to download it, yeah, you may not be able to. Sorry, Comfort. Now, will that be a problem? Were you thinking of downloading so you can watch it when you're not on Wi-Fi? Comfort, you there? Oh, you muted yourself. So if you did answer me, I didn't hear you. Comfort? Did I lose you? Hello? She must have muted herself to the point where she can't respond. It was a real good question, but I don't believe you can download that thing. But I may be wrong. Never know. Never know. All right. Any other questions? Okay. Thank you for oh, by the way, did people raise their hand when it comes to getting the diagram? So I don't see any raised hands. This is going to be sad. Please, it's a little bit of expense there to give you that capability of being able to get a paper version. So please go to your professor, get a paper version. Doesn't look like too many of you have actually gotten it. So we're going to have to work that out. Now, one of the reasons I want you to get the paper version, it is the way that I teach the class, okay? Because I walk through all 31 processes using this chart, okay? So we start at the beginning at life cycle model, build it one at a time, as you see here, and then end at disposal. So building the 31 processes so you can see how they interact is important. So do pick this up. Now, if you can't get to the professor, you can always take the PDF to, again, a Staples or a Office Depot equivalent where you're at and print it out on 11 by 17. Up to you to do that. Maybe at the same time you're getting the handbook printed out. So, all right. The other thing about, and this is why it's important for you to get into Canvas, is I have these exam questions. And the exam questions come out of the handbook from my feverish brain. These are not identical to what you'll see when you take the exam. What I'm trying to do is two things. One, are you comfortable with the knowledge you have about the exam? And number two, are you comfortable with the way the exam is structured? So they actually make it very clear. And my question, these are from question, I have a question bank of almost 600 questions. And so what happens each time you take a quiz, you can actually repeat it and it'll be a different quiz. So that's one nice thing about this thing. Even though I asked you to take a quiz before the reading assignment, take the reading assignment, watch my lectures, and then take the quiz again. So that's what it takes. So I'm trying to get you familiar and being comfortable with the exam. So when you do take the exam, it'll look like this. So from the INCOSE handbook, again, the questions are normally multiple choice, okay? So you have to answer all the questions correctly out of the possible ones. Typically, there are 5 possible answers, only 3 are correct, okay? So you need to pick those 3. There's no partial credit. You have to pick all 3 correct, okay? So to show you what this looks like, here's some samples that they did way back at the beginning when they did this. And so which 3 of the following express functional behavior? So normally what happens, just to give you guys a clue here, is you would go down and you would say, well, I know functional flow diagram and integrational functional modeling show functional behavior. I'm good on that. Network tree doesn't make sense to me, okay? And you scratch that out. And then you're like, oh, shoot, I have 2 that I'm confused about. And you go, is it behavioral diagram or is it allocated requirements diagram? Which one is it? So you'll struggle on that. You'll eventually choose behavioral diagram and you'll get it right. But it's always those last 2. Is it, which one is it? Usually can pick two obvious ones, strike out an obvious not one, and then you struggle on the last two. So for that one, it indeed is behavioral, functional, and integration. The other one was 3 justifications of CM. As you can see, there are 5 here. And you go through it the same way, and you find it's A, B, C, and D. That just shows you what it is, and what the exam will look like when you know it. It's not more complicated than that. It's not going to ask you essays, and it's not going to ask you for equations. Okay, it's just 3 out of 5. That's basically it. Okay. Okay, I do have a handbook. It's on Canvas. You can review the processes prior to taking the exam. All right, but everything I have is in Canvas. So the show of hands, how many have gotten into Canvas? All right, I'll use the reaction bar, and I'll be super sad if nobody's gotten into Canvas yet. Okay, a few have. Good. Thumbs up works too. Good, good. Okay, okay, okay. I got 5 of you so far. Okay, some of you haven't gotten it. Okay. So with that in mind, what I'm going to do is show you what you need to see for that. So let's talk about what it takes to get access to the Canvas. I put your names, all your names, into a learning management system we call Canvas. And you should be getting an email. And Franklin, is your hand just up because you do have access, or do you have a question? You can take your hand down if you don't. Okay. You should be looking for an email, and it's from Canvas Free for Teachers. Okay. And the subject line is course invitation. Now, sometimes it does go into your spam. It may. I just, the way Google, if you have Google or others, they may actually throw it into the spam. So look in your spam, look for course free, Canvas Free for Teachers, and you'll need to register in order to participate in the class. Now, what you'll do, the invitation, the email looks like this. It's very simple. Number one, it'll have your name and your email. So that's why you'll know this is the real deal. And the other thing, it will say SEP Knowledge Exam course for you for the 2 universities. And your course role is thing. So what you do is you click started here. All right. And once you do that, you'll get a dialog box coming up in the class. Okay. And you have to hit accept. Okay. So you'll see the thing, hit accept, and you get this little dialog box that says, hey, log in, okay, into your Canvas account. Now, sometimes you may not have a Canvas account, so click on let me make a Canvas account. And by the way, it just as a side, you can go into your account and go into your profile and put a picture of you. That'd be nice, so we can see it. But it is free for you to join Canvas like this. Okay, so let's take a tour of Canvas. All right. Some of you have been in this class already, but I'm going to try to show. Here we go. Make sure this comes over, and I make it large. All right. So this is the Canvas course. All right. What it looks like when you log in. Here, let me just realized I probably have it very small. Make it a little larger here so you can see it. All right. And am I in? Yeah. Okay. I'm in student view. All right. This is what you'll see. You go down. I have a little welcome thing. This shows you the sessions we're going to have. We'll talk about what the battle rhythm is here that we're going to talk. This Zoom link, if you go into Canvas when we're about to take our sessions, again, it's just the exact same Zoom link you got here. All right. But before you start, get the handbook and get the the 11 by 17. Be sure to do that. Now, I do have a nice little thing here that does explain to you how to use Canvas and things, but I'll do that for you now. Of course, you can do that when you're doing. So what we're going to do is this week, right? We're going to start today. Okay, next week, I want to talk to you about the module 1. Okay, over here, you can see module 1 is context of system engineering, and there's at least almost 5 hours of videos you need to watch. Okay, now what I'll do is we'll get together next Thursday, the exact same time, and we'll actually talk about what you learned and what you may be confused about or things like that. But within this week, what you need to do is read the sections within the assignment. I'll show you how to get there. Take the pre-class quiz, watch the 5 hours of lectures, and then take the post-class quiz, okay? That we're doing that. So what would you do is go up here to modules. You see that up here? Go to modules. Click on that. And as you can see, I have, now my modules are split into 2 sections. So I have module 1.1. You can take a quiz before that, watch my my videos, and usually about 2 of them, because they're usually 2 hours long. And then after you're done with that, watch module 1.2. Okay, so the I give you the slides that are there. Here's how you go into the quizzes. You go ahead, take the quiz. There's no time limit, and of course, just like I showed you before. Okay. So again, the modules. Here are the videos, and usually you watch them here, or you can go to Vimeo and you can watch it within Vimeo as well. Let's click on that real quick. It'll load it up. And sometimes this will help. I don't believe there's any way for you to download. Sorry, guys, but I just have to protect a little bit about my course. Okay, so that's the slides, the 2. There's part 1, part 2. Okay, and then go back to the module so that you can actually take the quizzes, things like that. So very straightforward. And of course, the reading assignment too. I forgot about that. It shows you what you should be reading. All right. And that's about it. It's pretty straightforward. That's the battle rhythm. You read the sections, take the quizzes, watch the lecture, take the post quiz, and that's pretty much it. And here is our review sessions from 11 to 1 every Thursday in the evening for you guys. All right. All right. One more thing about using this aspect. You can go to assignments and quizzes. I also have this thing called discussion board. That's pretty helpful. If you have a question, instead of emailing me, if you put it on here, I'll get a notification that you did that, and I'll answer it here. It's just very beneficial to everybody who's in the class. So if you have any questions about the material, and then I also ask, once you take your exam, I would love to know what your experience was like. That'd be very helpful. All right. All right, let me repeat one more time what you need to do before the next class. You need to go to modules 1 right here and 1, 2. You need to finish both of these. All right. And then now keep in mind, it's a lot of effort for 1 week. Okay. But we're going to do this over 5 weeks. So we're trying to kind of work in such a way that you should be able to obtain within 5 weeks watch the, you can imagine if you had to do all this in 1 week, 20 hours. So normally I give a boot camp and I take all week and it's like 40 hours of teaching. So so I think you'll find this will work. All right. Does that make sense to everybody? Is everybody clear? Give me a thumbs up by reaction. All right. We're getting some thumbs ups. Just one. Anybody else? Okay, good. You know, it's hard doing this when I don't see your faces. So just keep in mind for me to do this. All right. One other thing besides the discussions, which is another place we can put questions and stuff like that. And by the way, you could put the questions there, and if I can answer them on Thursdays, I'll do that as well. We'll do that. So one last thing is if you go to pages, it goes to the front page, but over here it says view all pages. So I have how to get the handbook is up here. All right. The class materials for the if you want to get the slides and things like that, and a PDF of this as well that you can work through. And then I have two things that you may find interesting. Number one is the official study notebook. This is on Amazon. You can buy that. It looks like, do I have a copy here? Let me see if I have a copy. Sometimes I, oh, it's over here. That's right. There it is. Oh, nope, that's not it. Can you, there we are. What's nice about this thing is if you like writing down notes and things like that, it's pretty helpful. But the other thing is actually writing out the actual process, you know, write it out. Sometimes people find that that's helpful. Of course, you can do that with pieces of paper and all, but you may find that very helpful. The other thing you may want to look into is the testimonies. Now, this will be important when you're about to take the exam. So I have several, you know, I've taught at least over 1,000 students, and, you know, a few hundred have come back to me and told me they passed the exam and what it was. More people passed the exam than that, but the percentage came back and told me what their experience was. You may find that this is helpful as well. Also, I have a whole thing on failing the exam. This happened back actually in 2013. So it's been 10 years. I haven't had anybody got back to me about failing an exam. It's only two out of the thousands that I've taught. But you'll find that Josie just was very hyper about taking exams, even though I tried to prep her. It was very difficult for her. And number two is she didn't read the entire handbook. Very important to do that. So, okay. So that's Canvas. So very straightforward. Want to ask, are there any questions? Just unmute, shout out if you have a question about Canvas. So let me open the door. All right. Okay. It looks like everybody's good. All right. What we're going to do now is talk about what it means to take the exam. Now, this will be 5 weeks from now. And of course, when we get together on Thursdays, we can cover this in detail again. So I don't want to take too much time here because it's getting a little later. But basically what you do is you register online and you take this computer exam. And you can schedule it whenever you want. So you can go ahead and schedule it like in 6 weeks. Say, you know, taking this exam with Paul, you know, this course, I'm going to be done in 5 weeks. You know, let me do it. So if you look at your schedule, you may say, let me get something in the end of August or something like that. So there's a link here. You register online, you go down, you select the URL, they'll send you information on how to schedule it and how to pay for it. And by the way, it is a proctored exam. It will cost $80 to do it. This is a proctored exam on your computer, so it's important that you have a good internet and you have good video capability, because they want to see where you're at. They don't want to see this diagram anywhere near you while you're taking the exam. Okay. So they have a testing guide that you can download as well. Again, it's a computer exam, and this hasn't changed. They used to do this when you went to a testing facility, and it was a computer exam. And now that it's done online at your home, it doesn't matter. The computer exam's the same. So it's 120 multiple choice questions. They give you 2 hours, and it's pass or fail. So at the end, they'll actually tell you, oh, you passed, yay, which is what's going to happen. But on the very unlikely event that you would fail, it will give you a printout of how you did. All right, Comfort, you have a question again. Please ask away.
Yes, please. Is there any cutoff mark for you to pass the exam, or what is the minimum score to pass the exam?
Oh, you're asking about how many questions do you need to pass in order to pass the exam?
Yes, please.
Unfortunately, we do not know that. It's a class. It is a highly guarded secret within INCOSE. And I don't know why, but they don't give that information out. Sorry. So I think they are taking a page out of other certifications where they just want you. What they did was they got a bunch of professional system engineers. They took the class test, and then whatever that was for them, average wise, they figured that would be it. So it could be 70%, it could be 80, it could be 90 for what I know. But I tell you one thing, it does cover the entire handbook. So you kind of have to be ready for any question whatsoever. So yeah, I wish I could let you know. I tell you, if you're taking my class and you're going through those quizzes, I do have 120, well, it's not a quiz, it's like a type of exam of my questions that you can try, and then look at how well you did. Now, the only thing with my class is it does give you partial credit. Shouldn't do. I can't turn that off. So because of that, you need to actually go through, and if you find that you missed even one of the questions for the answers, one of the answers, you need to like subtract that. So you are able to tell. And if you can get within the 80 percentile of passing, I think you'll be fine. Does that answer your question, Comfort? Just give me a thumbs up.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Oh, no problem. No problem. All right. There are some pencil and paper. I don't know if you'll get a chance to do that. But if you are going, actually, if you went to the symposium to Hawaii, you would be able to take the exam there. Usually they have them, but you can go to the events webpage, see if it's happening near you and stuff. All right. All right. Now this is about preparing the application. Now I do not want to spread this out. We've been at this for an hour and 15 minutes. I'm hoping the sessions may go fairly quickly. I do find that I am very good at the way I teach it, and usually there aren't that many questions. So the sessions may go quickly, but I do want you to still try to make it, if you can, to hear what others are maybe asking questions about. But I can pick this up during the last session to explain to you what it means to prepare the application. Keep in mind, you want to learn the handbook and take the exam and pass it. That's kind of what we're trying to do here in this class, okay? So the application's later. afterwards. So you wouldn't probably be doing the application until 6 or 7, or until you pass the exam. And then you can say, well, let me start thinking about the application. What I do want to show you, just real high level, and I'll make these slides available to you as well as this video, so you can watch it on Canvas. So I'll probably put in a separate Canvas page that will have the videos of our sessions, all right, so that you can watch them. That makes sense. All right, so let me do real quick about preparing for the application. Number one is the ASAP, okay? The ASAP, you need your name, email, and you sign it, and you're done, okay? So it's a really simple application in that respect. But when it comes to CSAP, that's 11 pages. You have to use your, show your education, show your experience, make sure that's verifiable through your advocates or your the people who can actually look and see and explain that you've done what you said you did. Now, sometimes the CSAP can take over 20 hours to complete. So I just think people don't understand what it takes to take your experience, rip it up, and throw it into this, and put the proper experience in the proper area is basically what it takes. So verifying your education, normally you get your transcript or your diploma. You can scan or photograph that and send it to them. When it comes to the experience, you fill out what they're looking for is 3 or more functional areas. They actually explain what those functional areas are. They're either your technical or managerial or your support in system engineering. Those all come into play. You read about it in your Appendix A. Very important that you read through this and go, yeah, I've done that, and done that as well. And then you fill out a matrix, okay? Again, I'll go through this in more detail near the end of the class, probably during our last structure. Okay, and don't forget your references. You have instruction letter for the references, and the references have to fill out a form as well. All right, and this was just real quick on how to work this. Again, I'll keep these slides available for you online. All right, and then the references, one important thing about references that people may not understand is they need to be knowledgeable system engineers. So a lot of people go, oh, maybe if I throw my program manager in there. Well, INCOSE doesn't want to hear from your program manager. They want to hear from your system engineer friends and buddies or cohorts or people who are over you, okay? All right, and this shows you should email them, get them ready for it, things like that. All right, and once you have the application together, you're done, okay? And you'll get certified, yay, right? Because you learned the handbook, took the exam, and got your application together. Very straightforward, all right? By the way, after you get certified, we'll talk about this. It's professional development units. You need 60 hours within that 5 or 3 years, depending on what you are. So we'll talk about that too. All right. A lot of this came from INCOSE. Look, the INCOSE process is, again, if you remember, we have 4,000 certified people. It's not a lot, okay? We have one program manager, and you can contact her at certification@incose.net. Ask any question at all, especially about maybe your experience or your application, questions about the exam, getting to the exam. They will get back to you. But of course, the web page is very, very comprehensive, going through that as well. All right, and that's it. I'm going to let you guys go. I want to hang here in case you have some questions, especially I went through this rather quickly. So, but if not, if you got to go and you don't want to hang for the questions, just go ahead and I'll see you next week, right? If you're going. And by the way, if you have some of your friends and they didn't make it here, explain to them once they get into Canvas, they'll be able to they'll be able to watch this video. So again, you only have a week and a bunch of things. So all right, any questions? I noticed, Peter, that you came in late, I guess, right? Any questions? All right, I'll just hang here. If you guys have to go, I understand. So I'm glad I was straightforward and you guys were able to work it.
Thank you very much.
Oh, no problem, Comfort. I'm glad I was able to help you. Peter, any questions?
Thank you so much. It was helpful, especially for the Canvas bit for me. So I'll go and check. I'll go and look for more material there.
Excellent. Yeah, get into Canvas. It's very important. Yeah, that's where this all lives and breathes. All right, thanks, Peter.
Thank you. Thank you.
And Paul, I just sent everybody a courtesy email reminding them to log on to Canvas, and if they have problems to contact you. Okay.
Excellent. That's great.
Yep.
And I got most of the people, about half have gotten on so far.
Okay,
and have
great.
actually been kind of a little bit ahead. So we'll see if the others, if they don't watch. And that's one interesting thing is a lot of people, they read my the handbook and then take my quizzes, but what I teach is out of my diagram. So there is an aspect of me giving more of a contextual aspect to the handbook, which goes kind of beyond just reading it. So that's why I teach it inside out. I start at the organization level and go to the technical levels. So I find it's easier. And what's funny, Ty, I don't know if you noticed this, they actually redid version 5 of the handbook by doing it inside out like I did. Every time they do this. But anyway, so now now I can teach the handbook straight through, where it's before I used to go to chapter 7, now 6, now 5. So anyway, it's kind of fun to be able to do this.
And for those who are here, once we get to the very last session, we'll talk about, how we're going to register for the actual knowledge exam and the foundation. We're going to cover that expense. Okay.
Oh, perfect.
So,
okay, great. I did not know that.
Big encouragement for everybody here. To get your fellow instructors into the class and register. Again, you're going to be able to do this asynchronously. These sessions are only for the dialogue and discussion questions that you might have. Okay.
Yeah. Ty brings up a good point. Is after my 5 weeks of doing it, if you feel you need to take longer, all the information is there. So and by the way, I don't have a time limit on this. You guys take as long as you need to. I really don't take people off once you're on and you're in. So pretty much a lifetime thing. My lifetime, not yours, but because you being part of it. But of course, once you pass the exam, you don't need the material anymore. So there's that. All right. Thank you, Ty. Appreciate it. All right, we're going to go ahead and shut this down. You guys can go back to your dinner. I haven't had lunch yet, so I'm going to be doing that. So I really appreciate you all. Hope to see you guys on Thursday. And again, I'll probably try to record those as well in case you want to review those as well. All right, guys, we'll catch you all later.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Paul.
No problem, guys. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you again, Paul. Have a good day.
You do. Bye-bye.
Bye.